Game 2 of Day 2 of the Pasifika Youth Cup is the marquee match of the Premiership division. It is the two unbeaten sides after Day 1. It is Tonga versus Aotearoa New Zealand Maori. Tēnā koutou katoa, welcome back to North Harbour Stadium. This should be an absolute belter. However, it's interesting, and you'll see shortly when we get a look at the team lists, I suspect maybe a little bit of foxing going because John Devonshire, who's joining me, of course, the chairman of the Pasifika Aotearoa Collective, the organisation that runs this particular tournament. I kind of get the feeling, and as I said, we'll see it when Aotearoa New Zealand Māori's team list comes up. As we look at this very good Tongan side, they've just made a couple of tweaks. You'll notice there that Siokale, who scored a hat-trick yesterday on the wing, he slotted into centre. But it's a pretty settled lineup that Solomone Foketi has gone with for this game. And as I say, this is a likely precursor to the final tomorrow afternoon at 3, and we will talk about a little bit about that throughout the course of this particular game. But when we see the New Zealand side that's coming out, looks like Jethro Friend and Lucky Smythe, John Devonshire, have they got maybe an eye on that possible decider tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. here on Sky Sport?
Yeah, I think you're on the money, Nigel. Kia ora te whānau from throughout the Aotearoa, and good to be back here. It's like a bit of a poker game, isn't it? You a little bit of bluff and a little bit of play, then you trump, and yeah, and you know, if you've got an injury and you're not 100%, you know, you rest them up because I think, you know, that mathematically there is some opportunity for maybe a different, you know, the Cook Islands to sneak in through the back door. But yeah, I think you're you know, right on the money there, Nige.
Well, what it could come down to is it could come down to a points differential situation. Here we see Aotearoa New Zealand Māori, and there's a couple of names there who are absolute standouts yesterday. Tanastawa Smith, not involved today, just carrying a little bit of a shoulder niggle. You see Carlin Clyde, who was really good, just putting him onto the interchange bench as well. That said, Jethro Friend and Lucky Smythe did say, JD, they wanted to give everybody that opportunity yesterday and looking again to get more opportunities today. Remember, this is a 4-game tournament for these teams.
Most definitely, Nigel, as the Māori team makes their way out onto the field. And you did, right? They're playing their cards close to the chest. And, you know, as a coach over many years, do you play your best team, you know, all game, every game, or do you know, you got an eye on tomorrow? So I think that's exactly right what the coaches have got an eye on tomorrow.
Yesterday we saw Tonga defeat the Cook Islands 36-4, then they beat Niue 38-12. That's a plus points differential of 58 points. Aotearoa New Zealand Māori 42-12 over Tongan Development, and then beat the Cook Islands 34-24. So that's plus 38. The Cook Islands, when you look at that there, they're looking at a minus differential currently of 42 points. So that there, at the end of this game, we'll have some idea of what the Cook Islands, who will play the last game of the day against Fiji, will need to do. But this is the likely Premiership final at 3 o'clock tomorrow, we suspect, as we get ready for the haka. enduring challenge from Aotearoa New Zealand Maori, and now the response from Tonga.
Just a quick shout out before Tonga get going to our cultural advisor, Ora Kihi from Rahu Pukek in Huntly. We've been with the Māori Rugby for years, helping on those cultural tikanga learnings and not enjoying the best of health, but shout out to Ords and we appreciate the input he puts into our organisation as being Māori. Reo ka pakame.
Sides have completed. Now, all is in readiness. So it's more than likely this is going to be the Premiership final. A little bit of a precursor tomorrow. 2 games still to come after this, though, on a busy day 2. 5 games yesterday, just the 4 today. You've got Noi versus Tonga Development coming up at 3 o'clock, and then the Cook Islands and Fiji to finish us off at 5 o'clock. And that could be that game. And you hear the voice, the extra voice that you hear coming through at the moment. And that is Viggo Rasmussen, who is your referee. Be assisted by Kevin Kent and Corey Jewell. Reserved today for this encounter anyway. Rochelle Tamaroa.
Must acknowledge our referees, Alan Caddy and David Paquito, former referees themselves, and the ARL refs. And I just want to give a shout out. We've got a young boy on the line, 14 years old, comes up from the capital, Huntly. Epia Kitemuru, doing running lines, or nephew. So been pretty impressed with the referees too, Nigel.
Well, look, we've got to say this is about obviously the opportunities for these young men in terms of their playing careers, but we are sometimes a little bit quick to forget we need good quality referees coming through. There are some people who maybe do not have that opportunity to be involved in terms of the physicality for whatever reason. If they want to be involved, we want to keep them involved in the sport. Officiating is a great way to do so. So it's lovely to hear that opportunity coming through for that young man at this tournament.
14 years old, and hey, in 40 years I've been involved with the game, or just over 40 years, I've never seen a referee drop the ball or do a forward pass.
There we go.
So they're human as well.
Well, this is going to be a...
Yes, gonna.
You see there is the man that you can hear, that is Viggo Rasmussen.
Communication, big skill for referees and players and coaches and commentators.
And we're underway through the right boot of Amor. Interesting to see how Aotearoa New Zealand Māori go, because they were slow starters in both of their encounters yesterday. They were down 12-0 against the Tongan development side. Actually ran out winners by 40-12. And again, slow starters against the Cook Islands, eventually quelling them by a scoreline of 34-24.
I don't think they'll be able to afford a slow start against this side, Nige.
know, with some of the talent that they have available to them. There's a nice carry by Simatau. They come away. Piliu saw what a controlling factor he was on day one of the Pasifika Youth Cup. Sets up nicely, a chance to run it back for Brody Bishop. Bounces out of one, then he gets taken to the ground. Siokali scored that hat-trick in the opening game yesterday on the wing.
Great play, great talent. Simon to the Warriors.
Wide here. So a lot of changes.
Yeah, just working through their sets, getting a touch of the football and feeling each other out. Yeah, all these players will know each other through tournaments and schools and club football all around the country. So, you know, one name I don't see on the team list is Tito Harris, Xavier Tito Harris. He was the instigator in the plays, wasn't he?
Well, this is the thing we were talking about with return to Jethro and Lucky, the coaches, playing a bit of a long game, because you don't see Xavier Tito Harris. You see Kalen Clyde starting on the bench for this one. Atanas Stowers Smith, who was so impressive as well. Just wondering whether maybe they just, let's say, no Kalis Fatialofa. Again, another player out in the centres who was impressive. So you just wonder whether they're playing that long game.
Yeah,
it does come with risk if the Cook Islands were to roll over Fiji, who have been struck by a bit of injuries, but we know they play with such pride.
Yeah, I haven't actually caught up with the coaches either night, to be fair, to see if there's niggly injuries and they win 100. But yeah, I think as he turns the ball over, 5 metres out, so just a settling down period here, but it'll be Tonga's feet to the scrum.
Devante Mihinui, the carry there, and using number 8 in that short ball from Daudu Cuthers. Cuthers was excellent. Saw him in that opening game yesterday against Tonga Development. Off the bench, good impact coming from the bench in that particular game, and you see now the likes of Kupitaho, who was key in that one.
You called it yesterday, Nige, and the slow start, the interchange off the bench, and the impact. And Carruthers was one of the ones leading that charge.
And I'm sure coaches will want to see something a little bit better in terms of the start from the home side. Tonga were very good starters in the games. It's a good strong run by Patrick Moimoi. That there gets the crowd in terms of the small group who are allowed in. They get them fizzed up. Mind you, there's a few Tongan supporters at the gates at either end. One to the side of our commentary position, other at the far end of the ground, just looking through the gates. Just in a red light situation, as we see here the good work by Patrick Moimoi. Tonga inside Māori territory. Simatau throwing back. Good defensive work coming in there from Mihinui. Now to second prop. Siulanga Siali was very good. Again, he's just a good, direct, solid runner. Generally takes bodies to stop him. Nice little inside cut here for Nathaniel Pole. Now it's another Pole. That's Sika.
Yeah, good forward charge there, nice and solid, direct to the line for Tonga.
Oh, they see a little hole there. They cut down Vunipola. Fifth tackle. Piliu, little kick in behind, nicely placed there was Nipata.
Yeah, good set from the Tongans, Nige. You get to completion, it took the coaches and some good forward charges, and probably not the best kick he could have it again. He might get into the end goals, get the reset. So, get the ball back. But, a solid set from Tonga and equally some solid defence from the New Zealand Maoris.
Whara.
Yeah, big name there in Waikato name and Matamata down there. And, big family of, mainly they play the 15-man game, but hey, he's showing his versatility.
Mighty look to try and get this ball out wide. It's John Lees Faulkner being driven to the ground in a nice tackle. Moved there by Asafusi Tua for Tonga. Straight. Good carry, that's Mihinui again. Into this left-hand edge. To the 40-metre mark.
The fifth and final, not the best option there, Nige. The kickers and the playmakers in the spine, the 1, 6, 7, 9, they've got to be onto that because, they're playing the ball 40 metres on their own side halfway where they should have, get a fifth and final kick in and a good chase.
Whaiamane with a good scoot out of dummy half. And then another good follow-up as well by Makasini, and just like that, Tonga's inside the 20. Oh, problems here. They're a man down. Here's Gully. Couple out. There's a real problem here with one of the Māori players. Couldn't quite catch who it was. Gone down clutching an ankle. There will be time off blown here by Viggo Rasmussen.
And that's the result, Nigel, of a poor fifth and final option, you know, turning the ball over 40 out, not getting to your kick, and then you find you're D'ing up again. And yeah, the coaches won't be happy with that, and they've got to get some messages out there, you know, to get the kickers in position, and, you know, on the fifth and final option, get a downtown kick, because, you know, it looks like they're setting up to take the 2, do you think?
I wouldn't have thought so.
No, yeah, no.
Just keeping an eye on what's happening with this Māori player down there. We've seen the trainer straight away signal, look, change it over. It's not a good sign. It's an ankle, and the young man looks in a fair bit of pain there. There you see him going straight down. Jersey number 18 for the Māori. There's real concern being shown here. And they're going to take the time. They may even need to get the cart on for this one, I suspect.
He's gone back down again, so yeah, looks serious, and yeah, 22 players in your squad, and you're going to need all 22 of the physicality of the games, Nige, and unfortunate for the young man so early into the game, but you know, that's contact sport, and you know, he's hoping that you know, he can get some treatment, and you know, he's got his whole season ahead of him, and you know, the physios and that can do their job and get some ice on him, so he'll be replaced.
It is Tane Harvey, by the way, as well. Do apologise, just a change in number there. We had him down as 13, but he's playing in 18, so it is Tane Harvey. Just to speak out of turn in case I identified the wrong player. The last thing we want to do is send unnecessary panic going through a family. You can see straight away the trainers there. Now we've got the good folk from St John Ambulance on the case as well. Here you see the Tongan fans, team, development team. I'm sure at some point there'll be another hymn emanating out of the stands here at North Harbour Stadium.
Yeah, reminiscent of 2017, wasn't it, Nigel? Yeah, you and I were fortunate to live in the mighty Waikato and Hamilton Stadium, man. You know, the Kiwi game, the Samoa, the Tongan games, it was beautiful. Been at Origins and Grand Finals and Test matches, man, but I tell you, the flair and the spirit that those people brought to that stadium and packed them out with the like the Jimenez and the Waiata, outstanding, yes. Yeah, and yeah, whatever the age, the colours are there, the flags are there. You've heard, like you say, you've heard it here, and we've enjoyed it, and they've got them up now, and they're.
I think it looked like that his leg just got trapped underneath him as he went into the tackle. He is able to be assisted to. There you see, you hear in the background the round of applause, and so that round of applause is actually coming from Tonga. A nice round of applause, and you know, the sportsmanship that we have seen over the course of the first day and a bit. You see the development side. They'll be back a little bit later on for another game. Actually, they're up next after this one, 3 o'clock. Say the hymn was coming, and here it is.
You're on the money, Nige, and it's the flair and culture that you get, and it's going to be the Tongan side. They're going to start that right in front of the post, Whānau, as you can see, 10 metres out, and yeah, what option are they going to take here? They look like they're stacking to the left, and the forwards will drive it in, so let's see, but yeah, big, yeah, hope the young fella has it, was it? Yeah, hope the young fella's okay and he can get sorted, eh?
They're taking their time here. Getting the league stabilised. The assistance there, as I say, of St John Ambulance. Wonderful organisation that is. Very proud to be the son of a serving brother of the Order of St John, and A wonderful, wonderful.
Your black and white, say, in the square box and running on to Rugby Park and Eden Park and all the fields around the place. And
yeah, the Zambucks.
Yeah.
There's a few stories with regards to them I'm sure they could share too.
You and I are playing, I'll just bring out the magic water and have a sip and rub it, and you're right, mate, get up.
Oh, there was one ambulance man used to get frustrated with his water being drunk, so he put Dettol in it. The first player that tried that one got a heck of a shot that first particular time. He's a good defensive stand by the Māori because they know they've got to withstand 5 shots here that's coming from Tonga. Here comes the second. Nice cut back. Siolanga Apo. They wanted to go wide now. Trying to get their hands free. It was a good spot tackle initially there by Faulkner in jersey 11. Numbers out wide here. Oh, going through. Now, did they get that down? No! Lost.
There was an opportunity, Nigel. I thought he was over in the corner. They actually had numbers. It was just a shift and pass, catch and pass, but unfortunately the execution wasn't the best. Let's have a look at it. He reaches out.
He bounced it short. It was Seal Kali, who was such an efficient finisher on day one. Maybe a little bit disappointed with that. And it's now for the Māori to try and move out of their own territory. Bishop coming in off his wing, benefits from an illegality. Chance
going
now
with the shoulder charges, using no arms in the tackle there. So the referees ping the Tongan player. So opportunity for the Māori to get out of their half because they've been camped in their half for a little bit. Tonga's back-to-back sets, so he kicks it out and it'll be restart just about 10 metres into the Tongan side of halfway.
Patua with the kick for touch. So just with little moments, I'm sure that Solomone Foketi wants those little bit indiscretions ironed out sooner rather than later. Here comes Faulkner. John Lees, now a solid performer on day number 1. Opportunity is a good shot.
Was a good shot.
He knew he took it though.
Yeah, and he spoiled it. His mate spoiled it. He put on a good shot. He's given them a little bit of lip, and that was silly from Tonga. It was a good first up shot, and then the second tackler come in and went on with it.
Rasmussen just wants to have a wee chinwag here with the Tongan skipper.
I thought the Māori was a bit guilty of being a bit flat-footed there, though, Nigel. They've got to run on the ball, those power players, those props. They've got to hit the ball at pace and go to the line, take the ball to the advantage line, and he was a bit guilty. He was, I don't think he had him a look, but he was slow out of the box.
I think the pass as well sort of checked his run, and then he got very lateral, didn't he? Yeah. But the upshot of it all, though, is that Māori got the penalty, and now they've got the advantage to launch 16 metres out from Tongan try line. That's a nice carry by Popata Henare. The Waka quick play the ball as well. Try and step and dance their way through. Takarai in jersey 20, coming to the right, taking on the line. Oh, that is lovely. Marakai Moa. And it's the Māori who strike first in this one. They're up 4-0.
Great boy. Going to Rotorua Boys High School this year, Rangatane down there in Fielding and Palmas Northways, and a mid-central Viper player. And I thought Xavier Tito Harris wasn't playing. It was an exact look of him, a step go on the outside, and on the result of that penalty, and it's that indiscipline that can cost teams. And on the back of the penalty, they worked towards the post, and he got on the outside of the player and crossed for the line. Well taken try.
It's a good start for the Māori, who were guilty of finding themselves down on the scoreboard early in both their games yesterday against Tongan Development and Cook Islands. The kicking duties for Wyndham Patuawa. As the support for Tonga starts to come out of the main stand here at North Harbour Stadium. For the extras, slots that nicely, does Wyndham, and it's Aotearoa New Zealand Māori with the lead by a scoreline of 6-0.
They'll play from in front for today's game, and game 2 of 4 for day 2 of the PYC, and probably probably a fair indication. I just, just the lack of discipline can come back and haunt sides, and on the back of the penalty, that was the result.
Just taking their time getting back here, and it's smart as well by Tonga. Just try and take a little bit of sting out of what the Māori have just achieved. And it is, as we say, Māori playing from in front. Tonga now having to play. We've seen great resilience from them, though. They're a very well-drilled side. And we see again, Nui again just going a little bit lateral and getting picked off. It is Wunipola. Solid direct run. That's a really good carry. Shouldn't surprise that comes from Kupa Taho. One of the more direct players yesterday. Tuawa trying to duck and bounce his way through. Covers it. Dummy half. Taho takes the shot, head rocks back, still goes forward. That's a really nice carry again from Cooper. And once again, Tonga's ill-disciplined.
I don't think it's justified for a Simba, but the penalties are starting to mount up, and they're slowing as a tactic from the coaching staff to slow to play the ball down, win the tackle, and so you can reset your line. But it's all about time, and he is going. Yeah. That's a shame because it's built for 13v13, but I suppose he's referee Rasmussen. He's given a couple of warnings, 2 or 3 penalties, and they're going to play one down.
Smith-Dale sent to the sin bin. No, AJ Jones for Tonga, who's part of the West Tigers setup. Lost him just prior to the first half interval of their opening game. Tuawa, that's a nice touch finder from Wyndham. That's going to get Māori again with good field position, just short of the 20. And with a one-man advantage. Patahenare. Inside the 20 now. Covers. Come away, going wide. Almoor straightening that one is Faulkner. They meet him and take him down on the 10. Still tackles up their sleeve, excuse me. Oh, now was that knocked on?
Yeah, I believe
it was too.
He was facing back and he reached out and pulled it forward to him. So there's poor execution there from the Māori team, because that was an opportunity with 12 men on the field for Tonga. And just the lack of execution. But putting the ball down. So it'll be a Tonga defensive scrum.
Regathering, reorganising.
Better start for the Māori. Nigel, 3 games we've watched them so far, and they've usually played from behind. So the coaches, Jeffro Friend and Lucky Smythe, they'll be at least pleased that they're not playing from behind.
Billy gets that ball out wide, trying to get to the outsides. A lot of work being done here by Cully. Getting much game, but he's eating a bit of time as well. Whaiamane. Lovely and direct. Leg drive as well. Love the way Siale Whaiamane plays his rugby league.
There's plenty of determination there, Ray.
Now, they're letting all the backs do the work. There was Devron La'akulu coming in. And they go back. Peliu. That's a nice kick, but it sits up for Nipata. Thought about cutting, or he thought he was going to give it to Brody Bishop there on the cutback.
Yeah, it is a high tackle, and the referees pulled him up for it because they've been consistent all weekend. But you step and you beat someone, and the hand goes out, and it was. I'd just say it was careless rather than reckless or dangerous.
It's reflex.
Yeah, it was reflex.
The referee has to penalise the infringement. Yeah. But you don't need to make a big deal of it. I think the perpetrator knew that he'd done wrong.
Yeah, and fair to the Māori boy, he didn't respond or not running in. So I've been really impressed this weekend with the discipline from all the 6 sides, Nigel. We've only had 2 sin bins in 7 games, so big up to the boys.
Māori to start, and they will the second tackle inside Tongan territory again. playing at the moment against 12 men. Oh, here's Caelan Clyde. And you know he doesn't mind a snipe in and around that dummy half area.
How long's he been on the field, mate?
About 30 seconds maybe. Moore, good quick hands, bit of a juggle. Couldn't maintain it though. Rawiri Martin, bit of niggle. Support coming in vocally from the stands as well.
Yeah, looking to move the ball and shift down that short side, and it's about execution, drawing pass, and so really in the tackle count, you know, you got to wonder.
So that was lovely hands there from Popata Henare, even though Martin couldn't drag it in. It's a bit of unnecessary push and shove there.
Yeah, he's sheer frustrated, and he was annoyed with himself, wasn't he?
La'akulu. Again, here comes Moi Moi. Some of these backs will be asking their forwards to come in and do some work for them shortly. Wuribola. That's the way. Here comes a big body to carry. That is the fussy for Hoko. It's a great one. Yeah. Now they get the benefit as well of some ill-discipline from the home side.
Good consistency from referee Ramsden here. Yeah, that was awesome. So it was uncalled for. It didn't need to. Just went on with it.
Kalan Wuribola. Oh, here's a good shot coming in there from Elijah Rasmussen for the Maori in number 10. Support as well from Yvonne Pure. Nice carry there by Sikapole. Way to that left-hand side, inside ball. That's a great run. Isaiah Fusitoa loses the strides and cares not a jot about it. Wunibola trying to work his way through. Just here, Rasmussen.
Moving off the mark.
Comes away here. Moi Moi. Sitting out of one there. Bole. Comes away. Lofts that one out. Drifts forward.
Fifth and final option, fifth tackle option, not the best there from Tonga because they've done some good lead-up work. The forwards, you know, the backs have come in and give the forwards a rest, but they've let the Maori off the hook here, so the Maori will be looking to move the ball as we 30 minutes out from half-time. So yeah, bit of a relieving error there on the fifth and final. So it's option taken from your spine, your 1, 6, 7, 9. They've got to have it down, you know, got to have it on point.
Just the one score so far in the game. Tried to Almoa. Oh, and picked up and gone. That's why you play to the whistle. Smart Sione Makasini pounces. Everyone else stopped. He played on. There was no whistle from the ref. And Tonga strike back.
Yeah, just a bit of lapse in concentration there from the Maori, and the Tonga have taken their chances and will, you know, as you do, you play to the whistle. You teach under sixes to play to the whistle, and one referee, and yeah, disappointing the result, especially when they were gifted the ball and there was the execution. He didn't have to force the pass, that bloke. He forced the pass, and you know, he gave the pass in an impossible position. And Tonga, you don't need to ask them, you know, twice. They'll snap in there and jump in there and took the opportunity under the post.
Yeah, rightfully, he's got every right to be excited about that too. Sione Makasini just stopped right there. You just saw them stop. There was no whistle. Got to kill that ball. Just grab it, make a play at it. Tonga punish them. It's going to be Kaelan Wunibola to do the goal kicking. Very talented young man.
Especially down to 12 men too, Nigel. You know, it's good character, man. It's real good character from the Tongan team. Well done there.
Nicely chipped through, and we're all tied up at 6-all.
Just see there in the yellow shirt there, and the trainer of Francis Malley at a point here. He's been a New Zealand Maori captain and a New Zealand residence captain, been around the traps and plays for the Pirates out there and Akaranga. And good to see him helping these young fellas. He's a bit of a role model of Francis, you know. Just got to remember he's only allowed to come onto the field when they're in position and not on defence and coach. But one day he'll be a coach. I think he's coaching already. I think actually, Francis. I had a laugh and a catch up with him yesterday. But,
the eternal problem of rugby league, trying to keep all those different coloured shirts off the field. Last thing we want to see is the old Alan Langer basically looking like he's got a PlayStation controller standing behind the back line there at times.
I just said to him, Francis, remember, you're not allowed to tackle.
comes Tonga. Oh, this is a good reply. That's another good carry by the try scorer. Makasini getting Tonga on the front foot, and they're going to get a piggyback as well.
Yeah, it's just went on with it too much. But it was a good run, and he's amped. He scored a try. He got a 4-pointer. He returned the ball with a lot of energy, and the Māori just gone off the ball a little bit here. Concentration maybe.
Let's touch find it. So Tonga will start right on halfway. We approach 10 to play. This is game 2, day 2, Pasifika Youth Cup. So it'll come this afternoon. Norway versus Tonga Development at 3. Cook Islands versus Fiji finishing it off at 5 o'clock. Willie Monty Beetham, their husband, will have the call later on today here on Sky Sport. Here comes Nathaniel Bolek. Good surge. Bola away to Biliu. Step back. Come back on the angle. No Alitia, excuse me. Back. Biliu. Quick play the ball. When the bowler reaches back, takes it up to the line, trying to get the footwork going. Equal to the task. Still got the ball going though for Moi Moi. And he's dangerous. He's very dangerous. Got the decks around their knees and it doesn't stop him a bit. Patrick Moi Moi puts Tonga up.
Yeah, no, we'll take control. I think you can put that down to the 5'8". I'm really enjoying the ability of the 6 for Tonga. He's shifting the player around. He's getting him going forward. He's a crucial part of that spine. And he had to do a little bit of work, the try scorer, but the Māori boys are just a bit guilty of falling off tackles.
We see Winnie Bola. Now he got a nice little offload here to keep things going. Watch this little play here.
Right,
nice little pop, and then Moi Moi. Nice fend on Clyde, step, and then just some power, busting tackles, losing the stride, still going, reaching out, bang. Have some, he says.
He still had a bit of work to do, and he did. He reached out, put it over, and the kick's coming, but it's away to the right. So 10-6, 8 minutes to play before half-time. It's Tonga, and just a bit of time to regroup behind the line for the Māori team, and start again. It all starts on this next 6 night. You get down, you put a good kick in. The penalties here, the back-to-back penalties from discipline, and they come back and haunt you those penalties for indiscipline.
You got to note as well, great strength from a very slightly built young man, and Kylan Vunibola. Remember, this is a guy reigning, I think, under 16 New Zealand player of the year, and slight, but still had the strength to be able to get rid of a big body and get the offload as well. And that's a great 3 minutes there.
Most definitely. And again, I think that they're back to 13 now, 2 nights. So
they've done very well down there.
Very, very well.
7.5 to go in this half, and that's what they call the coach killer. The Māori scoop it up. Now they with 20 metres in front of them and a full set. It's Rasmussen. Flung to the ground, just needs to be careful there.
Tacklers, looked like he went over the horizontal, but...
Well, one of them's Dao has already spent some time. The other one was Noor Alitia. He's inflicting another tackle now as Andre. Clyde. Almoa. Ipata. Not what they wanted. Pure just getting in the way there in jersey 25. Almoa going for a little bit of a nibble. Already a big bite. Down the tackle count here. Wanting to come away. Comes Atuawa. Final tackle. Rasmussen in at dummy half. Come back to Almoa. Tries to lob that one up. Trying to pat that ball back in was Bishop. The touch. And it's going to be a restart.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be restart on the 10 metres out, but I think the Māori were guilty on tackle 4. There's 3-1 out here in the 5'8" went in himself, and he should have moved that ball, catch and pass. It's 3-1, and just need a little bit more vision. But and then the kick, hey, the kick comes off. You're a champion. It doesn't come off, but at least they're still trying stuff. So it's 10-6, Tonga are ahead, coming up to 6 minutes, just under 6 minutes before half time. So, yeah, still very, very even. Just play the ball, son. Let them go.
Just a reminder that there are rule changes that have come into effect for the 2022 season. New Zealand Rugby League, if you're wondering why that was a play the ball restart. It's one of the rule changes. Here is Pata trying to get to the outside, but then cut down. But he's got that return outside the 30 for Aotearoa New Zealand Maori. Comes Dialti, gets away from one, still going.
Good yards. That's good yards.
Coming at Dialti up to halfway. That's a great start. Time for a couple of the big bodies to go to work. No, they go back to Brodie Bishop. Another winger coming in with the carry. More in it, dummy half. That ball away. Takarai.
Good defence, Tonga, up and meeting the challenge, and you know they're shutting the Maori attack down. So looking at fifth to final, the kick goes in. Oh gee.
All juggled but taken. To the ground. Faimani will go for a bit of a scoot. They're quick before he can get those legs pumping and driving.
He likes having the ball in hand there, bloke, doesn't he?
They get around those legs before they start moving that pace. Here comes Gully, trying to get rid of bodies. A lot of work still going. Edges his way up to halfway. Way through the tackle count. Coming back left.
Yeah, good run. That's how you hit the ball. The big prop forward for Tonga, running onto the ball.
It's Tau, Smith Tau. Away. Inside ball here for Nathaniel Bolak. It's out of one, spinning. There's Moi Moi just lurking once again. Bonibola wants to come away. Billy with a little kick through. The ball is just going to roll and roll and roll. And that one goes dead.
Sort of mixed emotions here, Dale. Sorry, Nige. You know, they get to a completion. The coaches will be happy. It's time and possession. The kick, probably not as accurate as it could have been, but still time and possession and getting to a completion.
Oh,
team.
Don't mind being called Dale husband. That's a lovely compliment to get, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Here comes Dongans with some big defences. Amor tries to move out. Just 3.5 to go on this one, and as we expected. What we thought we would see in terms of the quality of these two teams. It's the likely Premiership final.
And it's out on the full. That's another error there from the Maori. I was just going to say what a great kick. That's better. He didn't kick it like the last kick. He kicked it straight to the winger, but he went for a bit extra territory, and it went on the full, so it'll be a handover and a play. Well, I think the set of six is probably the most important set of six of the game, Nigel?
Well, we're looking less than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
No, Tonga's got that strike power. See, kick coming in there from Wyndham Patuawa. Was a nice strike as well.
It was, but it was probably 2 or 3 metres too deep. So.
Well, Māori have got to keep Tonga out. Tonga will be thinking, look, if we can get a score going into the break, that'll be massive. And there is Nathaniel Bola, and he's just short of the 10. Plenty of tackles up their sleeve as well. Billy gets that ball away to Fahoko, I think it might be. Yeah, it is. Pafasi Fahoko. Nice ball left. Trying to get in on that angle.
Numbers on the left for the Tongans. Looks like about 4-2 out there.
Licky Naut playing the ball. They continue to go narrow side. Moi Moi wants to use his strength to try and power over one more time.
Fifth and final.
Come away. Crossfield kick coming in from Fukafuka. They're going to let that one go.
Yeah, just another completion, but another kick, too far. Maybe sometimes though, as a coach, I encourage Flair, have a go. They're expecting the kick. The winger's standing deep. Run it. Draw and pass.
Nipata, slightly built, but no problem at all going into the big bodies. Nice little short ball. Here comes Dialti. The backs look to try and go the Māori forward. Now they come away to Kupaho. Taho, I should say.
I was impressed with him yesterday, and he's gone strong again today. He's got plenty of go forward. He's Kupaho. Really impressed by his work ethic.
Nice and direct. Mihinui. Cut back once again. Continue to try and work. That was Whara, centre, just short of the 30. Come here to Almore with the kick through. Moimoi tracks across and it sits up nicely and they get him to ground before he has a chance to get the legs pumping.
Good read by the Tongan fullback, yeah. Again, the finishing kick probably wasn't that could have been.
Siokali getting rid of bodies, takes some stopping. Gets to the 30. Just on 20 to go. Bouncing out of dummy half and just about wriggling free. La'akulu. That's a good run as well by the try scorer. One of the try scorers in Makasini. Last chance of the half, you suspect. There's the siren. Bilio, little kick through. Onto the ground, just taking that tackle. Half time. And it was Aotearoa, New Zealand Maori, who struck first. They led by 6-0, but then 2 tries in 3 minutes. And it's Tonga that leads as we head to the break. Scoreline of 10-6, first half analysis. Not too far away here on Sky Sport. Well, it's Tonga with the advantage. What is the premier clash on day 2 here at the Pasifika Youth Cup, North Harbour Stadium. Those teams unbeaten on day 1 and the likely premiership final at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. See over in the background, Tonga just having a chat, and they had a nice little 3-minute period there as Aotearoa New Zealand Maori, coaches Jethro Friend and Lucky Smythe, just talking through what they want to see from their charges in the second half. Got off to a good start, which is something they weren't able to do on day one. There you see Tonga. You'd think that Sonomoni Foketi would be pretty pleased, particularly the way they reacted when they lost Simatau to the sin bin. And with 12 men on the bench, they actually went really well. First try, though, was scored by Manakai Moore. This is just lovely sleight of hand, good acceleration, and a slam dunk over the line to give the Māori the lead. And this here, that there, John Devonshire, an example of why you always play to the whistle. Ball was knocked on.
Yeah, the other thing too, though, Nigel, is that you're 15 metres out from your own try line, so you tuck the ball under the arm and you ruck it out, you know.
So, but it's lost there and they stopped. But you didn't see Makaseni stop. He swooped and he scored.
I like him. I like his enthusiasm. I like his energy.
Well, here's another guy who we like as well, Vunibola. Good strength to keep the ball alive, and then massive strength there from Moi Moi.
Yeah. 1, 2.
It's hard enough to carry 3 bodies with you. It's even tougher when they've pulled the shorts down and they're trapped around your knees. Good strength, and there, that's just another example of the wonderful support that those people from the Kingdom of Tonga give to their sports side. Obviously, it's been such a just a heartbreaking couple of weeks for the people of that wonderful Pacific Island nation, and you know, it's going to take such a vast amount of time to overcome. But we also know as well wonderful togetherness. We've seen examples of it over the course of first day and a half here at the Pasifika Youth Cup, the way that the Pacific Islands will band together and
embrace each other, right?
Precisely.
It's about football, you know, when someone's doing it hard, so yeah, you know, you come together as a team. Yes, it's about rugby league, it's about your nation, but it's also about, you know, brotherhood, love for, you know, each other as human beings.
We have seen this tournament already played in a wonderful spirit. What do you think that Jethro and Lucky would be saying down in that Aotearoa New Zealand Māori huddle there, JD? Because they made a good start, something that I'm sure they would have spoke of wanting to do better on day 2, having not done so on day number 1, then just to let it slide a little bit in the back half of that first half.
You I think the combinations, you know, and the options, but it's really the same, very similar to Tonga. I think it's the execution of the 5th and final kick. You know, you get an execution, you get deep. You know, one kick we saw here over here on the left-hand side of the field went straight to the winger. The other kick went out on the full. And, you know, if we can get to a completion, and both sides are getting to completion. We've seen the same thing with the Tongan side. You know, some of the kicks too deep. So if they can get, you know, just, you know, the spine or the 6 or the 7 or the 1, whoever's the chief playmaker kicker in the team, if they can you know, get their execution better, you know, it's going to create opportunities. But a very even contest.
We see our referees get ready to make their way back out. Just a slight modification from day 1. Still 2 30-minute halves, but they have decided to just extend the halftime breaks out to 8 minutes as opposed to 5. Just allow that little extra rest time, more opportunity to get fluids, maybe a gel back into the system. So the temperatures drop slightly. There's still a little bit of a breeze cooling, but still a very warm day. And of course, even warmer when you look at the physical endeavour that these sides are putting themselves through. Still to come this afternoon, a reminder. Niue versus Tonga Development. Tonga Development starting the day very nicely with a victory over Fiji. And then our day will finish at 5 p.m. kickoff for the Cook Islands versus Fiji. And the Cook Islands will need to overturn a pretty significant points differential if they are to make their way into the final.
How do you see it, Nigel? How do you see it, man? The outcome of this game, another 30 minutes to play, very even. And, you know, this first 10 minutes, I always used to say in the coaching profession that the 10 minutes before half-time and the 10 minutes after-time, crucial period of in either coach, in most sports.
And what we've seen is we saw Tonga have the better of the 10 minutes prior to half-time. So as Billy will restarts, taken and step back and carry hard. Monte Mihinui. Here's Paho taking the contact there, coming from Aliki now in jersey number 14. get up and play quickly as Cooper.
I guess too, Nigel, it's going to be the discipline. Those penalties, you know, the Maori were guilty late in the second half, first half, and Tonga were guilty in the beginning of the first half. So you don't want to be giving piggybacks down the field to your opposition.
And that's what both sides were very much guilty of doing. Little kick through, trying to find some grass, and they've done so. Moi goes back. Nice step. Nice fend again. Moi still going. What a carry by the fullback. Does need to tie the old drawstring a bit tighter, though, it has to be said, as he loses the Dax again. Down he comes, that's short of the 40. Tonga come away. Cully is another man who's hard to stop and evasive. Comes back and eventually they fling him to ground. It's good work here by Martin and also by Mihinui. Martin just hobbling a little bit there. Good carry coming from Whihoko. Fussy will play midfield on the 40. And to go wide, fire money. You can't let that man get you your outside, still going.
Good ball, good pass, good execution there from the Tongan backs.
On the last. Billy. They're saying it's restart the tackle count. Oh, another set for Tonga. Māori need to muscle up defensively. This is a great start.
Yeah, those repeat sets, Nigel, they can come back and you have a play at the ball and it's just through tiredness and laziness because it's, it's a great opportunity.
Billy. Great strength. And it is Tonga who strike first and extend the lead to 14-6, and it's through their standoff. William Billy.
I just like his option taking. I just like his, his direction. He's guiding his team around the field. But those fifth and final options, and they put the kick in, and the Māori defender, instead of securing the ball, you make a play on the fifth and final. You make a play, you got to get it. You got to get it. You can't put your foot out there and hope that you're going to kick it and it rebounds up to you, because the oval ball bounce is very funny. So it was from the restart and back-to-back sets, and and at this level of football, you're going to come unstuck.
So start that ball pointing outside the line of the right-hand upright. Just low and trying to fade, and he fades it away. It was Gully with the kicking duties for that one. Unconverted, 14 points to 6 though. First strike of the second half goes to Tonga, and as John Devonshire, who's providing the expert analysis, pointed out as well, they dominated that final 10 before the break, and they've come out, they've struck first after Oranges as well. Lovely day here, shore of Auckland too.
Yeah, and both teams are, they're going to leave it all out there, Nigel, because they only got one game each day. Both sides had 2 games, so you got to go back to back. So it's all out there, it's all or nothing. And at 14-6, still 25 minutes to play. So a lot of time for the Māori, but they've just got to get their hands on the football. They've still got to get their hands on the football. A game can be quite cruel when you're not in possession of the footy.
Here comes Siolonga Paul with a great ball. Gets it away to Fuka. Duarte so hard to get down, and what a great start to the set by Tonga, and tackling around the chest, driving the player back. It's getting a little bit spiteful. I think that is Winnie-Bola who got bent back.
I actually think the Māori player was showing some concern for him. He was lying on him, but he wanted to make sure he was okay. So. I just think they got a bit more enthusiasm. They got a bit more fire in the bellies, the Tongans, and the Māori boys are going to have to come up and defend, and offloading the ball like that helps the Tongan cause.
I think you're right. Just seeing in that replay there, I think what the Māori player saw was maybe that he'd just snapped back into the deck a little bit, and he was just concerned and didn't want to move too much. I think he might have been right there.
Not often, Dale. Not often, Nige.
Comes Whaiamane. Again, this is another really good start to the half by Tonga and asking so many questions. Aotearoa, New Zealand Māori with the offload. There is Vunibola, who's bounced back.
It was. That's Pacific Island Polynesian flare offloading, and that's the area of the football field you should be offloading, so nothing wrong with that. Fifth and final option though?
Well, but there was a scene there, so I think they've got to take it. You've got to play what you read, and
it's in front of you.
I don't think that Solomone Foketi will be that upset with that decision.
No. You're turning the ball over, 10 metres out from the opposition. Now you back yourself on defence.
Another player has shorts issues. Here comes the Māori. Some nice work by Aliki now. Comes Mihinui. Just like to see Devontae just straighten up a little bit, take a leap out of
be a bit more direct, be a bit more direct and commit the opposition and get some go forward, because your back line and your stars, they work off to go forward.
This is on the last.
So where's the chase? Sort of.
I'm not sure if Josiah Takarai was the man who they wanted to actually get the ball, and they're able to just eat up metres coming back, and look at that. They're going to start 35 out from their own try line. Akulu. Was there a little drop in there from Levron? He's not happy.
Well picked up by the referee, Nigel. And there's a thing in our game that's called momentum shifts. And I was just starting to think we're getting there pretty close now. The Tonga had the momentum shift prior to the half time, and now maybe there's a few calls going the Māori way.
Look in there and see. There she was.
It wasn't a hand on the ball, there was a hand on the head. So it's very lucky, 50-50 call. 50-50 call, could have gone either way.
They're just stopping here, and the reason why is just heading over now towards the tunnel. You see Rawiri Martin just limping off. There was a little issue earlier on where he just seemed to be favouring an ankle, and it appears as though that's just got a little bit too much for the man who led the haka, playing at centre. So that'll force just a little bit of a shuffle. So Māori, 35 out from Tonga line, blind side right, open side is out to this left-hand side, which is where they are going. Oh, straight through. Good tackle, good work there, coming away.
I'll be watching Clyde around the ruck here for the Māoris.
Yeah, Levon Pure taking some stopping as well. And Clyde, little short ball, Mihinui, I should say. Picks it, drives it. Now that's gone backwards. Picked up, Nipata. Just 5 out. Faulkner. Some big shots, spins on the tackle.
From the Tonga, they're defending their line with a bit of pride there, Nigel, and that's what you want near your line. A long ball now, if we can get that away, step.
Still stepping, still dancing, spinning. Then getting it away to Clyde. He's going to try and duck underneath. Get back to the point where they started that play. On the last.
Have a go. Give the ball to me.
Little stab through from Almoor. Māori dive on it. Reset. They get another set of 6. Just some patience needed. Nice work there by Nipata. Comes away.
He's unmarked, the winger there. He was unmarked. So you just got to be patient. Plenty of time, Nigel. 21 minutes to play. So just be patient and get to a completion or get to a bit of flair. But you don't need to score on the first tackle.
Rasmussen with the play the ball away to Clyde. Almoor, and just not ready for that one was Levon Pure. Need the call there from referee Rasmussen in the background. No advantage. It's a couple of opportunities for the Māori.
He sort of looked like he didn't want the ball, actually, didn't he?
Was kind of wondering more if he was meant to be some kind of a decoy inside.
Do I have to? Those front rows, you want to hit the ball with a bit of purpose, especially close to the line. You're setting it up. You're playing for your mate. You're getting it go forward. You get some field position.
Well, that is the one thing. We commented on this in the earlier game with Anya Hape in our commentary, was the real good mental resilience that we're seeing from some of these players. Their ability to deal with a mistake and then just erase it and and just get on with it and then get back on with their job. And I thought that was one of the real standouts for me from the 5 games yesterday, was the ability for these players to just be able to deal with it and then just move on.
Yeah, they were lucky to stay on the field. When I was coaching, you'd be sitting on the bench with me.
Well, that's the other thing as well. Coaches have changed as well.
Unlimited to change, so the opportunity to to change and learning off fellas like Frank Endicott and Gary Kimball and people like that. You get the ire of the coach, and next minute you got a hamstring. No having coaches, you can pull the hammy, you're out. Okay.
Video gets this ball away to Nathaniel Bolek on the last here. Maori a little bit slow getting back. They're going to go to that blind side. They're going to challenge the line once again. Whaiamane running straight, still angling across. They're going to have to stop him. This is the last. They're going to try and wrap him up.
Yeah, again, I think Coach Felitti will be happy that they had a go. And he's dangerous. He's probably the most dangerous back on the field at the moment. He's playing really well.
Well, he got through. Just needed some support.
H2O is looking a bit sad for the oxygen levels for the Māori side. I'm just looking at the body language around the back there. Some of them are huddled over, so she's, you got to rub the heart now, boys, and put your hand up,
Let's remember they lost Tane Harvey to an injury in the first half. He was taken off on the Medicart. Now we've just seen as well Rawiri Martin go off as well. So straight away, they're down to 2 on the bench. On a day where it's warm, it's not as hot as yesterday, but still out in the middle there.
Mate, you're playing for your country and your people, and you got that tohu on your chest. You lift and you go again, and and young fellas, they got to learn that resilience and learn to get that mental toughness. So
Covers.
Let's see what we got.
Picking up. Oh, that's a great tackle. Oh, that's tough. That was Itawate Fukafuka.
They're going down, they're falling like flies, the Māori boys. We've got to show a bit of kaha here and get up and get back and meet the challenge, because...
well, that was...
Nothing wrong with that, Nigel.
That was
nothing wrong with that, man.
Moore taking one there, just after the pass, he's down, maybe winded more than anything.
Yeah, it's... in sad enthusiasm, there's that Polynesian, Pasifika, Maori flair that you come out, and it was all legal.
And then legal. But there you saw again the brotherhood, as you saw winning Billy will come in, and another mistake here as they can't find touch. Billy will coming and just putting his opposite stand-off, just giving a wee pat on the back. Tonga though, look to take advantage of another Māori mistake. Here comes Governor now, choosing number 17. The 40-metre mark. See that marked in red. Here's a drop goal from behind that red line, behind the 40. It's worth 2 points. Anything inside is worth 1. Another part of those changes. We have seen those come in.
Yeah, they have, and it might have been when Monty Beefon was playing, he would have tried one and got a 2-pointer, from a field goal, but many years ago.
Lauli, Monty Beetham and Dale Husband to take you through the final 2 games
Another
of day
good
2.
Offload.
That's good work, Simitau. Well, there's the man who spent time in the sin bin, and he's come back and he's just gone about his job nicely. They're on the last here, Tonga. Little kick through. Can this stay in? He's kept it in. Has he got his foot in? I think he's away here.
No, touch judge has got his flag up. Wow, he was 20 metres away.
Batuawa, frustrated. Looks back. He's like, really?
Game of inches, Dale, game of inches.
Here comes. Let's have a look. It's right in front. There,
that
I
one,
think
that
it
one,
might be that one there, is it?
That was there, straight in the upper.
Oh.
He knew too, he had a look. He had a look, he gave himself up. Good camera work there from our camera in.
Tonga now. Again inside the Māori. Yes, Whaiamane, who you knew he was just going to pin the ears back and go. Great acceleration. The speed over the first 10 to 15 is quite extraordinary. Here comes one of the try scorers, and Makasini. A try here would really give some breathing space for Tonga as they head into the final quarter of this game.
Speed of the play of the ball is good too from the Tonga. They're getting to their feet and having quick play of the balls as the Māori are trying to hold them down and slow the play of the ball down, but Tonga just good. Bit of enthusiasm here. If you're an offload, and I thought he was going to pull off an offload there.
Now offloading, Referee Mortensen calls a forward pass, and that one there, a wry smile on the face of William Peliu.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know what the tackle count was, but you got to take the tackle sometimes. But that's flaring. Hey, 10 metres out, man. You're trying to move the ball,
I love the wee glance here from Peliu towards Viggo Rasmussen, just wondering, I wonder if he was out of position. Didn't quite see the angle on that one, but referee in good position. Here come the Maori wanting to get something going. Almua dancing, spinning, and Tuati Whakawhaka was ready. Drags him back to the 10. Oh, there's a nice, great little snipe there. Nice 12-metre burst from the Pata, and they're going to piggyback it as well. Great work, Naheke Napata.
He's gone all right, not the biggest player, and he's got plenty of heart, and he's putting his hand up, and those backs giving the forwards a rest. And this kick's got to go out. Has it gone out? Oh, he had a go to the Tongan boy.
It's nice work there by Levron La'akula, La'akulu, I should say, trying to get it back in. It's those little things again that have just crept in, and
momentum shifts.
Both the Māori and the Tongans will be thinking about that as they look ahead to tomorrow's final. Nice offload there.
Yeah, but you've got to get deep when you run onto the ball, son. You're a prop forward. You've got to put your hand up and say, I want the ball, give it to me.
Well, that guy has done so far for a day and a half. That's Cooper Tahoe.
Yeah, he's solid. He's very solid. Very, very impressed with him.
Very a simplistic player, and I don't mean that in a bad way, as that ball is coughed up there by Levon Pure. Tonga get the ball inside their own 20. There's my man Firemoney again, just about getting away. Really quick feet and high knee and leg drive.
Yeah, I caught. Karu's not the best, Nigel, but I saw that wee knock on at the dummy half. So, they're giving them an opportunity, and as the day is heating up and the energy levels are starting to fade with only 17 players, and especially in particular the Māori, we're down to a 15, two-man bench. So here's an opportunity, but you got to start to nail them now, you got to start to nail those opportunities.
Well, this is a great opportunity. They're on 30 metres out. Way to the right of the scrum, as you look at it, there is an opportunity, but they'll come open side. More. Clyde and looking at the options. And it's to go away to their workhorse, Cooper Tahoe, but he's met with really good defence on that occasion. They come again to Cuthers. Again looking, comes away, Almua, Faulkner.
Yeah, good defence, good read, good defence. Yeah, ball and all, and stopped him in his tracks. That's a great tackle.
Really good defender is Tuate Fukafuka, Tahoe, getting the go and the momentum into his carry that time. And as I say, he's been so solid. Oh, and that one there, down there by Patuawa. Frustrating few minutes there for Wyndham. Thought he had a try, galloping down the left, pulled back. They get deep in the count, just a basic error.
I think too, the Cooper Tahoe, he's missing his offsider and his other go-forward mate, and Tanner Smith, and they were, the left-right combination and two-punch players, and also Tito Harris.
I was going to say, let's not forget Rasmussen as well. Elijah Rasmussen as well was good with regards to, he is in this game day 17 as well. Yeah, Tanner Smith was excellent. He's another guy who's been very energetic, helping his forwards out, coming in off his wing, and Levron La'akulu. Firemoney up to halfway. A little bit of a juggle there.
Well done.
Langaport. He's done well there, Hisiali.
Good hands.
Keeps going. Still going. Langaport. They saying, was there a little knock at the end of it?
That's the ball on the tackle, I think, as he's finding his front. But yeah, that was a good solid running. He was like plucking fruit from the tree. Bang.
Juggle. Beats a couple. Gets rid of one.
Through Clyde.
Goes again, still going. Can't bring the big man down. Still going. then somewhere in there, just a little bobble.
Yeah, no. And the better be picked up by ourselves, so a fortunate call for the Maori, those 50-50 calls, so attacking scrum.
Sliding in, great tackle.
Good. Great read.
Textbook stuff. That was Makasini again. Mihi Nui. That's better from Devontae.
That's better, son. You go straight and you go forward.
Clyde, yeah, he thought he had an angle there. They were quick to make sure they get Carlin Clyde to the ground. Almua, lovely footwork. And then he loses it though in the tackle.
Incomplete sets starting to come back and play a part in the game, and Māori are guilty of not getting to a completion, and they're going to have to tighten up that in this final 10 minutes if they want to be a realistic chance of taking the W.
Fioko, we talk about impact off the bench, that man there, Epifasi Fioko has done a really great job in the 16 jersey.
Certainly has.
Less than 10 to go. Things are just getting a little bit niggly.
Yep. Need those trainers and that Francis Ledger to get on there with some of that H2O and calm them down and maybe put them in over the head as well as in the waha. But yeah, I hope the young Tongan boy's not too seriously injured here.
I'm not sure the way they're... What is it? Just trying to see if they've got the leg up. Is it an issue of cramping?
They're lifting. He's looking up.
Like, yeah, it looks like it might be.
Yeah.
It's a warm day. It is a warm day. I don't know if it's as hot out there as what it was yesterday. I'm sure, though, we can get some word from our floor manager and our camera crew who are down there doing a great job for us here on Sky Sport, working in association with the good team at the Stream Shop. We've got less than 10 to go, and if you're the Māori, you're actually, you know what, we're not out of it. We haven't played our best game. Tonga have been very, very good, but if we've got 10 good minutes left in us, this isn't all done.
It was cramp. Yeah, thank you to our referee. We can pick up through the communications. It was just cramp. We're going to play on, and yeah, on that, that's great. Yeah, we don't like to see injuries the day before the final, Nigel.
As I said earlier today, we saw a nice victory by the Tongan development team over Fiji. Still to come this afternoon, 3 o'clock. Nui versus that very same Tongan development side, and then to finish the day, the Cook Islands versus Fiji at 5 o'clock. Dale Husband, along with the Aoli Monty Beetham, to take you through the afternoon. On Sky Sport, this is the Pasifika Youth Cup 2022.
Yeah.
You hear that from Viggo Rasmussen, you know better. And that's a really good way for a referee to say it, because all these players should know better now when it comes to the shoulder charge.
Yeah, you're getting late into the game and it's a little bit lazy and you're a bit tired, but you still got to use your arms, you can't go on with the shoulder. So, we're gifting Tonga the ball here. They've got good field position and they're going to be hard to hold out.
Siolonga Popolo's the ball to cut back to my man Fiamani again. Simatau there playing at the dummy half at the moment. Decides he's just going to burrow over and go. Nice work from Simatau. 18-6, kick to come. And that could be the one that gets the job done for Tonga in this one.
I think so, Nigel. And the back of the indiscipline, the penalties, the turnovers, you make it hard on yourself, and you got to be in possession of the football in our game if you you want to show your flair and show you what you got. And when you turn the ball over and when you give away silly penalties, because especially the area of the football field about field position, we're 20 out and you're going with your shoulder, and you know we can't do that, but you do anyway because you're tired and you're getting I won't say dehydrated, but you're not thinking straight, and bang, you give a penalty away. 4 plays later they score, and the young fellow, but they'll learn from that, and then that's the price that you got to pay. But you really got to stay in mentally attuned, mental toughness, and your 4 processes have to, you got to do it for the whole 60 minutes.
Duarte Fuka taking over the goal kicking duties. Onibola with a goal in the first half, and Kali missing conversion of the Billy try. Duarte from a nice adjacent area, but he rattles that one off the upright. 18-6. Still means a couple of converted tries.
Yes. Not out of the realms of possibility, but they're going to need some position and get some field position. Just under 7 to play, so it is possible.
Slow coming back to halfway. This is the only game today for these two sides, having played 2 on the opening day. Minor tomorrow. Final Sunday at the Pasifika Youth Cup. 3rd place in the Championship versus 3rd place in the Premiership at 11. Championship final at 1, Premiership final at 3. We suspect that it's going to be these two teams that you will see as well. There's a mistake from Tonga.
This is the opportunity with 6 minutes on the clock that the Maori are going to have to come up with a 4-pointer now to give themselves a hope to take out the match. And they're 10 out, and that, again, fundamental errors from a kickoff. You take it on the full, the timing, the whole connection thing was out. So let's see what the Maori can produce, eh?
Well, they've got a couple away to that blind side left. One else stacked away open side right, and here comes Devonte Mihinui. Good carry.
5 metres out. Clyde from dummy half. He's going to have a go. He's going to...
Well, this is the area where we think Carlin Clyde could have some fun and games. Latter half of the game, snaking around. Nipata. It's out as Tahoe just got a little bit ahead of that ball. Good decision not to pass. John Lee's Faulkner. This has been good defence by Tonga, but just a little bit scruffy from the Maori. No real flow. Amur wants to go wide. It's great work there by Makasini. He has been good, Sione. Look at that. Driven right back to the 20. Stepping, dancing, still dancing. Gets an offload. Away to Clyde. He's going to put a kick in. He's just really hacked that one through, and just a little bit too messy from the Maori.
Yeah, that's a disappointing set when you've got an opportunity and you're trailing by 12 points. And we should have been better than that. The execution was pretty poor. I think the first 3 or 4 plays were wasted in terms of the white line fever, and they were having a go. And you said Tahoe overran the ball and the kick, and the pass came out to the right, and they lost 10 metres. So, yes, some stuff they have to work on. With 4 minutes to play, but the coaches will go back. They'll have a look at the tape tonight, and we just that spine, that spine. And run that 1, 6, 7, 9, and now we're disappointed and conceding another penalty. So about character now for the boys. Got to hold them there, and let's hope they can hold them out for the remainder of the game.
Lots of changes to this Aotearoa New Zealand Māori side. That's an excuse. No. Tana Smith-Stowers, he was very good yesterday. Xavier Tito Harris, who was quite influential in tandem with Marika Aumua. So I'll be interested to see what role Carlin Clyde plays in that game tomorrow.
We'll see Tonga, Nigel, go through as ahead of the as number 1 seed, so they'll take the route to the final tomorrow, and well deserved and well done to them. And the Maori, they'll have to wait on the result, like you mentioned earlier in the call, but how the Cook Islands get on.
Well, they've got currently they're at a plus 26 points differential based on this current result, whereas the Cook Islands, they have a negative 42. Have to overturn quite a decent margin there, the Cook Islands, when they take on Fiji, and yet Fiji has been hurt a little bit with injury, and there's a concern here.
That's true.
Rasmussen there just thought he saw something in the tackle.
Yeah, he was Pla Wolfer there, and I'm pleased they stopped in the game and checking the Pla Wolfer. Oh, bit of a goose.
Moi.
Bit of the David Campese goose step there, up and raise the leg, and away you go.
Do you hear the call? Fifth and last
final.
coming in. Comes the cross kick from Ituate. Fuka. Jump ball situation. Batted back. Nice work there.
Good kick,
by
though.
Tatuawa.
Yeah, good kick. It's all about timing, but, because both sides have been guilty of the fifth and final kicks, but that was a great kick.
Yeah, great contested kick there by Ituate Fuka. Half back for Tonga. 2.5 to play. For nothing more than consolation now, Aotearoa New Zealand Māori.
It's been a big effort from the Māori boys, especially been down because they lost the player early down to a 2-man bench, and well done to them. And However, you know, they'll have to regroup now if they are fortunate to get through to the final, and you know, just put all aside and come out and give it one more last big effort up Opo.
Kipitaho still chugging away. The ball has been touched by Elmore and it's spinning. It's going to be
play the ball,
the ball, and it will go to
the new rule.
Maori. As I say, these two New Zealand Maori. I was wondering why it's just 8 play the ball. As I said, these rule changes that came in for 2022. Ball is kicked into touch and general play. It'll be restarted, 20 in. With a play the ball. Also happen as well if the player is tackled into touch or the ball is lost or travels into touch. It's a good cutback. That's nice work there from.
Be nice if we can finish off with a 4-pointer here. Probably our last turn in position of the footy for the Maori team as it goes to the line and hits the hole, but equally good defence.
John Devonshire, the chairman of the Maori Rugby League, also as well chairman of the Pasifika Aotearoa collective that organises the Pasifika Youth Cup. So this is under 18s. There was meant to be a whole raft of age groups and genders playing, but the restrictions. The under 18 men at the moment. Little kick through, and they get to go again. It's played out by Tonga. Diving on that one was Elmore. Now, can they finish with that try that John Devonshire is talking about? They've only got 40 seconds in which to work. Nipata. Kipitaho. Driven back again, just timing slightly off on his run. 30 to go. Going wide. The ball left behind.
Lost and into touch.
There you go, that's another example. There goes the siren, and there goes the final whistle. And so Tonga will finish top of the Premiership division. They are through to tomorrow afternoon's final at 3 o'clock, where they will face either Aotearoa New Zealand Māori or the Cook Islands. The Cook Islands, though, need a spectacular win. I don't even think that would be enough in terms of the fact they've already had 2 losses, whereas the Māori with 2 wins and a loss from their games. So points-wise, I believe it's right to say we will see these 2 teams back again tomorrow.
Fair call, Nigel, and big ups to both sides. You know, there were a few unforced errors on the Māori side that they'll have to go and fix up, but credit where credit's due to the Tongans and enthusiasm. And yeah, I think we're in for a thriller again tomorrow, and I'll go on record as saying I think these 2 teams will meet in the final. And 18-6, you know, the intercept try, the lost ball. Well done to Tonga, and there's some standout performance. Our man in the 4 in the centres, gee, what a he! Every time we touch the ball, we remind me of a young Ruben Wiki.
Well, this is, I'm pretty sure, going to be the final tomorrow, and it'll be a good one. That'll be at 3 o'clock, but we've still got 2 more games to come here on day 2 of the Pasifika Youth Cup 2022. At 5 o'clock, it's the Cook Islands versus Fiji, but our next match gets underway at 3 o'clock. It'll be Niue versus Tonga Development. You'll have Dale Husband and the Aoli Monty Beetham to take you through those calls. We look forward to your company again when that game gets underway in just on half an hour's time here on Sky Sport.